Welcome to Cooking with Andrea. Thanks for coming in and cooking with me today. We're going to have some porky deliciousness. I just had this craving. I wanted to make this, and it's really delicious. So, what we're going to be doing today is making a red potato wedge. We're going to fry it in my deep fryer. Then, what we're going to do is we're going to put some good old nacho cheese, some regular cheese, and we're going to take this lovely bacon and crumble it all over. So we're going to have a bacon cheddar potato wedge. Also, this is I was craving this so bad, so I told my husband we got to make this. We're going to have a grilled cheese sandwich on sourdough with bacon, brie, and cheddar, sharp cheddar, with a wonderful strawberry sweet jam. So we're going to get started on this because this is crazy today. I'm acting crazy today, but it's going to be a good day. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and cut my potatoes into wedges. Basically, all you do is the first one I cut, though, it was so funny. I was like, come on, you know how to cut a wedge. And I cut it wrong. So I was like, oh my gosh. I better show everybody. Because it sometimes seems easy, but it's not as easy as you think all the time. Basically, you have to cut the potato like that. So you cut it in half. Then what you do is you take and slice one half sideways like this. Then you do the other side. I always do the other side. And throw it in your water. One thing good about red potatoes is they do not have to soak in water like russets. Or red potatoes and yellow potatoes don't have quite as much starch as our wonderful russets. But I never knock a starch potato person. Remember, I'm the triglyceride person. The doctor can tell when I've had way too many potatoes. You know, I go to take your potato, it's cut in half, slice it in this way, slice it at another angle. You would think it's not hard, but some days when you first do your first potato, it's not as easy, or I don't know how I could forget doing this all my life. It's not like I just started cooking yesterday. Good Lord, and like I said, I am a potato freak. I love potatoes. So this one's a little bit fatter, so I'm going to give another wedge. The reason I tell you go to the sides is then you won't have such fat wedges. You want some to be fat, some not to be. And then I'm going to cut it down because it's a cook time thing. If you have the smaller your potato is, the more fat the wedge will be. So I just go side, then I go to this side. It kind of keeps me even. One day I thought, man, I should just use my apple core. But then I'm like, potato, you're going to have this big, real thick potato. That's weird. So I'm just going to let these sit in water for a minute. I'm going to bring them close to my fryer. Because potato wedges take about 5-6 minutes to cook. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my pan on. I'm going to get my nacho cheese started. A lot of times people will use a premium cheese. You can take cheese and just melt it to yourself. Just put a little heavy cream or a little cup of milk. Half a cup of milk, not even a quarter cup of milk. You'll be able to tell when you do your own from scratch. Just put a block of cheddar, and then what you want to do is just let it start to melt, but you do need a little bit of liquid, maybe a little tab of butter so it doesn't burn. But I cheat. I use this one because it has a little bit of a nice little zesty spice. And what I'm doing is I'm just copying one of the potatoes that I like. I like potato wedges, and there was a little fast food place that had potato wedges. They no longer have them, so you can't get bacon cheddar potato wedges. So with me, I'm going to go ahead and warm up this nice nacho cheese. And while I have you guys here in front of me, you can either crumble or you can chop. Let's see how easy it's going to be to crumble. Sometimes crumble is you get a bigger piece of bacon than just cutting everything just uniform. And this is where I'm going to put over my potatoes. I used 1 packet of bacon, and I'm going to put 5 pieces on my sandwich because when we eat our sandwiches, this has to be hearty enough for our dinner tonight. So it's going to have bacon, cheese, and oh, it's going to be so delicious with the strawberry. Strawberry is going to be like a little bit of a palate cleansing, refreshing. But man, that brie and that cheddar is fantastic. I like grilled cheese sandwiches. I can eat just a plain one, but I also make them a whole other different way, you know, just with all sorts of good stuff, things my family likes. Because actually, it's a fast meal, and I make a lot of soups and stuff from scratch too. So one thing that really goes good with soup is a grilled cheese sandwich or a grilled ham and cheese sandwich. So the bacon just crumbled real nice, and this is going to be my cheese that I'm going to put over it too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side for when I'm ready. But it's ready. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my strawberries cut, because strawberries, you want to go ahead and put them in with the jam ahead of time. I did do that, but I want to show you what it looks like. Because you want the jam, because you don't put very much jam, but you know strawberries will kind of melt down, you know, in the fridge. So what you want to do is kind of do something like that. I'm just going to cut my strawberries real fast, not too thick, pretty thin, because I don't want to overpower my grilled cheese. But if you like the salty sweet thing, I think you're going to love this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop the strawberries in here. And I only took 1, 2, 3, 4 for our 2 sandwiches that I'm making. Probably might not even need that much, but hey, we'll take it. And if we don't, then I'll use it for desserts for something else I'm making during the week. Maybe make some strawberry shortcakes. Oh, but I'm really excited. My strawberries are coming up like crazy. Me and my husband were just in the garden and the greenhouse, and we did some flower planting today. And we checked all our vegetables and so forth. Our onions and things like that are coming up, and celery stalks, and oh, it's just beautiful out there. We got 12 heads of lettuce. So I'm so excited. But the next time I make this sandwich or strawberry shortcakes, man, I'm going to have my own strawberries. It's going to be a beautiful thing. I am so excited. I'm going to give a little stir to my cheese. I think I could turn my cheese up just a little bit. Okay, so the 4 strawberries made all this. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to grab from my jam jar. You don't need very much jam. I just took 2 tablespoons like that. And basically what you're going to do is mix it around. And all you would want it to do is sit for just a little bit. So I would say this would be one of the things you want to do while you're cooking your bacon. Like me, I put my whole packet of bacon in my oven, because that's how I cook my bacon. Instead of frying in pans, I just lay it on tin foil in my pan, and that's how I cook mine. It takes about an hour to cook, but then my pieces are all nice and straight, so that's why I do it that way. So when you're doing your bacon, this is when you want to do your jam, right here. And basically it's going to turn out a little bit more runny like this, and it's going to give, especially right now because strawberries are not super sweet right now, it's going to give it just a little sweet. So basically I'm just going to mix mine together now that I showed you what I did. 2 teaspoons of jam with 4 strawberries. You want to make a little bowl like that. You're not going to put a lot on there. Trust me. You're only going to make it a nice little covering on one side, and you're going to do it on the side where you do the brie cheese, because that just complements the strawberry and the brie complement each other. It's crazy. It's beautiful how they complement each other. Okie dokie. So we're doing good. I have my deep fryer on 325. Yeah, 325. Okay, so what I'm going to do here now is we got our strawberries sitting. Just going to put them there. Cheese is starting to get a little bubbly here. Okay, just going to clean my knife a little bit. Now I want to bring my bread and my grilled cheese over to you. And then what I'm going to do is I buttered this side already, and I put some beautiful Parmesan cheese on it because I really want that salt, that sweet salty effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and butter this side of my bread. And I put a generous helping of butter on my beautiful sourdough. Boy, that sourdough just enhances all the flavor. Boy, one of these days I gotta learn how to make sourdough bread. I can make white bread, wheat bread, but I cannot make sourdough yet. That's starting. I gotta get much better at that. But I'm also not very good baker. This is why I like this sandwich, because this sandwich is amazing. I can go ahead and be craving a little something sweet, but yet have my salty and then have my bacon. I love my bacon. I don't eat very much of it because, you know, getting old. That getting old thing is for the birds, I tell you. But, you know, every once in a while we have to have some porky deliciousness, and this is what we're having today. We are indulging today, but guess what? We're going to keep our portions right. Okay, so I'm going to put my jam over here, my strawberries, and I am using Brie cheese. I believe it was President cheese, and then I have my sharp cheddar. I use these two, but I love all cheeses, so I use a lot of different cheeses. And then when I go on vacation, me and my husband, that's one of our things that we do. We go ahead and we go to the farms or the creameries and things like that, and we buy stuff like that because we really love it. So what I did is I took my Brie cheese, but you have to work with your Brie cheese kind of fast. You do not want it out of your refrigerator for too long because then it makes it a little bit harder to work. I took the rind off one side. Brie cheese, you can eat the rind. There is no problem with it. Some people love it. When I bake it, I eat every ounce of it. I don't cut a portion off, not at all. But because I'm putting it on a grilled cheese sandwich and I'm showing you, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut my Brie cheese. But I just take my cheese cutter, or you can take your knife, and I just simply do like this. And like I said, I do like the rind. Oh my gosh. And since there's only one piece of rind, I'll probably put that on the sandwich. But look at how beautiful that Brie is. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so right now, before I start assembling, because my potatoes are going to take longer, I'm going to go ahead and drop some potatoes down so we can get ready. So I'm going to go ahead and usually I use my strainer. And I am going to take a nice handful, and I'm going to cook these for 5 to 6 minutes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to finish assembling our sandwiches, and then we'll go to break, and then we'll finish. I'll go ahead and grill the sandwiches and get all the fries so I can show you how to do the potatoes. A lot of water. This is how you know you don't have your oil too hot. If you had your oil too hot or too much liquid water on your potato, it would really rise. You would see it coming over or steaming. But 325 for a wedge potato is a good thing. Like I said, kitchen timer, we're going to do 5 minutes. Start. And if they're not quite done, that's fine, because I like to make sure potatoes, when I'm doing this dish, is nice and hot. This is a fun dish. This is a dish that you want to do when you have a few minutes, when you're not super hungry, but you're craving some things. Got to treat yourself and your body right. So for the most part, you got to do your part and watch what you eat. But when you're craving something, indulge. It's quantity as well as with what you eat as well. So indulge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my pan over here. It's at 250, so that's a good way to start it. So remember, our bread is already buttered and parmesan. Beautiful. So I'm going to take 2 pieces of cheddar. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bacon. And like I said, when I eat this, I want to have enough bacon to taste my bacon. So I'm going to put pieces of my bacon. And this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my one side and put it down so that I can see it's cooking. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my beautiful Brie cheese. You know what I should do? I'm going to pull this back out. You know why? I want you to see me do it. So what I'm going to do is, my arms are too short to get in the pan. I'm going to put my Brie cheese on. And the reason I like triangles is because I get a lot of Brie cheese on there, and it turns out to be fantastic. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and put my cheddar. And then I'm going to put my bacon. And we are good to go just like that. I want to put it just like that so we get a bite of bacon, a bite of cheese, everything delicious. I'm going to stir this cheese. And I'm going to pop right over here. Oh, my potato wedges are looking beautiful. They're smelling great. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is put my Brie cheese up, down. And then if you don't have a nice piece, like I didn't have a nice piece there, that one was all crazy. I'm going to take this one like that. Or we're going to share the Brie cheese with both. We don't want nothing. We want to be nice. We don't want to be rude and not share. So we're going to go ahead and share. So I'm going to put both these sides down. The reason I put these sides down is so they have a minute to toast. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my strawberries ready for the other side. But I want you to see it first. Let me move this. Stir my cheese. Okay. And then strawberries. I was like, good Lord, what do I do with my strawberries? Strawberries went missing for a second. I tell ya. Okay, see how this is all blending really well together? See that jam? Just we'll put a little bit of sweet, but we only put 2 teaspoons on, so it's not a big deal. Still, your strawberries are awfully tart, which is great. But that little bit of jam will not oversweeten it. Because what you want to do is not have it too sweet. You still want to be able to taste your cheese, your sourdough, and your bacon. But what you want to do is complement it, and that's what it's going to do. It's going to totally complement it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take and put down a little bit of strawberry. Just like that. And then, and you don't need a lot. Just need a little bit. What you're doing is you're flavoring. That's all you're doing. My husband says it's like a fair food. But I say when you're kind of craving something salty, sweet, this is a good go-to. Because it's really not that bad. You know, you have your strawberries, which is a fruit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently lay this on top. And there we go. Now you may have a strawberry that falls out or something, but that's okay. Pick it up. It'll be perfectly fine. I'm going to check my potatoes again. Oh my gosh, look at these gorgeous potatoes. We got 23 seconds left. I'm going to let them go the full 23 seconds even though they look done. Okay, I'm holding the bread in my hand because I have my parmesan right there. So I don't want my parmesan and my butter to get on the counter and me lose that goodness. So I have to hold it, unfortunately. I'm not always the most, just etiquette person here with my food. Okay, so I'm going to have to turn my pan this way. My timer just went off, so I'm going to pick my fries up because my fries are ready to drain. And then the reason I have to do this is because my sandwich is facing this way. I didn't want to confuse myself when it was time for me to put my sandwich down. So I'm going to come right over here. And then what you do is just lay it right there and get it on there. Can't do it slow. You have to do it fast. Okay, so everything is on right now. I'm going to go ahead and finish toasting these sandwiches. As soon as we get the other fries cooked and the sandwiches are toasted, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Okay, So what is going on here is our potatoes are done. They're nice and crispy. And they took about 10 minutes to get everything nice and cooked. I cooked them for 5 minutes each. And then what I did is I've dumped them all in together. And then we are good to go. So I'm going to pull them out right now. Just going to let them sit here and drain for a minute. Then what we're going to do, oh, our grilled cheese sandwiches look absolutely beautiful. Well, let me rephrase it. It's our bacon, brie, cheddar, and strawberry look beautiful. Look at that. Looking gorgeous. There's the brie and the strawberry. So I'm going to put that back down. I'm going to flop him down because I want the brie to be nice and cooked. Oh, everything looks gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my dish here, or my pan there. I'm going to grab my potatoes. And I am not going to salt anything because with the bacon, but if you choose to, put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. But because I cheated, I'm using nacho cheese today, so it has a little kick to it. And then I have bacon on top of mine. Oh, lovely. This is what your potato wedges should look like, nice and crispy. I already tried them, and they're delicious. I went ahead and took one out of the fryer when I was cooking it. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put them all down like that. I'm just going to take some. Remember, your big, fat, thick ones, be choosy. Get a couple that are thinner, too, so you have a mix of everything. Because one thing I like about that place where I used to have these kind of fries is that they would do a mix. Some would be thinner, some would be thicker. And then that way you get this crispy, crunchy, and it tastes so good all over everything. I was looking for my towel. My hands are disgustingly dirty. So I'm going to go ahead. Nacho cheese is melting. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drizzle like this. You don't have to soak them. If you want, put it on the table. Like I'm going to do the strawberry in case somebody wants some extra strawberry. But it doesn't have to be all over. And then if you put this on the table when it's hot, the cheese, then everybody can go back. Because one thing I noticed about places, especially when people make fries like this or nachos, they have a tendency, it's one-noted. Everything just gets soggy or drowns. So what I'm going to do is let this cheddar, use as much as you want. Don't make it gooey. And I'm just going to let it sit over like that. You don't have to use that much cheese either. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this here. I'm going to let it sit for a minute. And then I'm going to clean up my plate just a little bit because I want the cheese to come out. And then this way I can get the grilled cheese for us done. I hope you guys like this recipe. It's a fun recipe. I don't know if it's for everybody, but if you do like the sweet salty, it's for you. It's a good recipe. You know what? And like I said, when you're craving food sometimes and you don't know what to eat, but you want to eat something, sometimes things like this, because you get a little bite of everything, the sweet, the salty, but nothing is overpowering. Like, I wanted a little dessert to go with it. I don't need a little dessert to go with it. Guess why? I have everything I need right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down. I want you to see it. Let's do it like that. So you see the bacon, the delicious cheese is oozing. This recipe was an easy recipe. Just takes a few minutes to coordinate. Not that expensive. Cheese, you have to be careful. Sometimes you have to pay some money for some Brie cheese. But you know what? Like I said, this is like a dessert and a savory all in one. I am not even going to clean up this plate. I'm going to let that little piece of cheese just sit there. I'm going to let that piece of strawberry sit there so that we all remember that there is strawberries, brie, cheddar, and bacon. Well, we're going to try this because it's delicious, and I want you guys to know that I think you should try it. It's a fun dish. It's a good one with kids, too. Oops. Let me go this way. Never get my plates right, I swear. I never get my plates right. Can't tell if I'm coming or going. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one right here. I'm going to cut this potato open. I'm going to take and dip just a little bit more. And let me grab a piece of bacon to go on here. A little bit of shredded cheddar. Oh, it is excellent. Potato inside is so tender. The nacho cheese gives it a little bit more of a little zip versus if you did just a plain cheddar. Excellent. Try this one. This one's real fun. Put some green onions, maybe some sour cream if you like. But me and my family, we love it just this way. Now, let's take a bite of this beautiful, absolutely beautiful bacon, brie, cheddar, strawberry, sourdough, grilled cheese with parmesan on it. I'm going in for the strawberry. You see the strawberry and the brie cheese over here? Oh, there's bacon there too. This is excellent. This has just a little bit of sweet, but you can taste the bacon. And if you layer your sandwich right, you'll get a flavor for everything. Like I said, the brie, a little bit on the pricey side. I think it cost me $5 for my brie. Bacon wasn't bad this week. Bacon's been going down lately. And then pretty much everything else I have on hand. So if you like the content, if you would please like and subscribe, I'd be most grateful. And enjoy your porky deliciousness. Thank you. See you soon.